By the way, that's 8th grade accelerated.
We're proud of it.
Chapter 5, lesson 6.
Okay, I couldn't sign up because they taped on the inside. She had the class.
No. Right, parallel and perpendicular lines. Can someone give me the equation of this line, the one on the top? Give me the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. One hand, two hands. Gabby?
Y equals 1/2 x plus 2.
Y equals 1/2 x plus 2. So let's see what the rise is. That's 2. The run is 3. So it's going to be 2/3 x plus 3.
Plus 2.
Plus 2, sorry. 2/3 x plus 2. Just out of curiosity, why? I'm surprised that not every hand went up for that particular question, because this is from 2 weeks ago. Right, can you give me the equation of the second line? Buddy?
Y equals 2/3 x minus 4.
Okay. Now, which part of this equation do you not have to think twice about?
The 2/3.
Why?
Because it's they're parallel.
They're parallel lines, which means they have to have the same slope.
Is this the first class?
Right. So non-vertical lines are parallel if they have the same slope and different y-intercepts. Now, you know that if they have the same slope and the same y-intercept, then they are the same line. Now, these two lines, y equals 2x plus 3 and y equals 2x minus 4, 2/3 x minus 4 are parallel because they have the same slope and different y-intercepts. Let's look at these two equations, these two lines. What do you think is the relationship between those two lines? Is it easy to tell just by looking at the equation of the lines? Why not? They are in different forms. Well, the first one is in standard form. The second one is in slope-intercept form. So it's going to be hard to tell. So how do you get through that?
You have to convert them into the same.
Yeah, what would be a better form to convert it into? Slope-intercept, right? Because you want to see the same slope but different y-intercepts, and converting the standard form into slope-intercept form would help you figure that out, correct? So let's leave the second equation as it is, y equals 3/4 x minus 7, and let's work on the first one. Okay. Now, as you are doing this, you need to keep the end result in mind. You want the form to be y equals something, right? A coefficient of x plus or minus a constant. So what should I start moving? John?
You can move the negative 6x, so you...
Okay, so I'm going to add 6x to both sides. And I have 8y equals 6x minus 24. I'm almost there. Not quite. Now I need to, Livia? Divide what by 8?
24.
Divide what?
6x and...
Divide everything by 8. Okay? Divide the 8y by 8, the 6x by 8, and the negative 24 by 8, each term by 8. So you have,
I think that one
okay. So y equals, if I simplify that, I get 3/4 x. Now, as I'm doing that, I want to keep my eyes on the second equation, 3/4 x, which means they are, well, they could be parallel. And then this is going to be -3, and therefore the lines are parallel. Okay, here we're looking at a different type of problem. Jack, you're smiling.
No, I'm sorry. That's just,
No, no, you can smile, but I'm just curious.
no, it's nothing.
Okay, all right. I thought something made you smile about the lesson. Okay. Equation of a line that contains 2 comma -6 and is parallel to y equals 3x plus 9. So there is already a line, and what is the equation of that line?
3x, y plus 3x.
Y equals 3x plus 9. Now, how many parallel lines can this line have? Infinite. Right? I can say y equals 3x plus 8. I can say y equals 3x minus 7. I can have y equals 3x minus -9 minus 200. Right? I can have infinite lines. But
all different lines, all lines can have an infinite amount of parallel lines.
Correct, yes. But they've given you one specific instruction here. This line that you're trying to draw, which will be parallel to this, has to pass through that point. Now, how many lines can we have that is parallel to this and passes through that point? Only one. Right? So the question is, how do you find that?
Find that you plug it.
Yeah?
You want to, what you find that? You want to find standard form. Well, it's not as just there.
Why would standard form help? Or how would it help?
Because you know that it passes, because it helps you find the x-intercept and the y-intercept.
Okay. But again, is the x-intercept going to be helpful? I don't know.
Can you just put it here?
Plug in for what?
Just put in the point.
Where?
You already know that it's going to be 3x because it's parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're telling you it's parallel. They're not like, is it parallel?
Okay.
So you know it's going to be 3x, so all you need to do is find the y-intercept.
Okay, so you know the slope. The slope is going to be 3. So how do you find the y-intercept?
Oh, you could plug in, but Father, wouldn't you take the 9 out and put b?
Would I take the 9 and put b? Okay.
Because you're solving for that.
All right, you're solving for that.
And then you just plug
And then solve for b. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. Okay, so let's look at option 1 first, which is using the point slope form. Right? You know that form, you recognize that. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now let's start plugging in. So y minus
Y minus negative
-6 is going to be y plus 6 equals m is going to be 3 times x minus 2. Right? Okay.
Why did that change to 6?
No,
Because
you
you distributed the 3 to...
Right? So now I need to write this in slope-intercept form. So I need to subtract 6 from both sides. And if I do, I get y equals 3x minus 12. Okay? Okay, this is John's method. So I take the equation y equals mx plus b, plug in for x, y, and the slope, and then solve for b. Y is -6, the slope is 3, the x value is 2, and I have -6 equals 6 plus b. If I add 6 to both sides, I get, no, why am I adding 6 to both sides? You're right. I subtract 6 from both sides.
This way is so much easier.
Which one?
This way.
Okay. As long as you remember one of these two methods, you should be fine. So I have b equals -12. I ended up with -12.
Then you have to plug it into the
Yeah, and I just went, it's roundabout way. So the equation of the line is y equals 3x minus 12. Right, so you can either use the point slope form, or you can find the value of b and then reconstruct the equation. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about perpendicular lines. Any questions about parallel lines? Same slope, different y-intercepts. If it's the same y-intercept, then it's going to be the same line. But you can construct a parallel line to a given line that passes through a certain point, and there are two ways to do it. One, the first option is to go through the point slope form, and the second is to find the y-intercept and then plug in to create the equation. Okay, tell me about perpendicular lines. I've given you the equation of a line. The line that has a positive slope, which is y equals 2/5 x minus 2. How is the slope of the perpendicular line going to be different? Lucy?
Is it going to be the reciprocal?
Is it going to be the reciprocal? Okay, so the reciprocal of 2/5 would be 5/2, which will still give you a positive slope.
It would be the negative.
Okay, now put everything together. You said two different things. Put everything together and tell me what the slope is going to be.
The slope to the negative reciprocal.
Negative reciprocal or the opposite reciprocal. So you look at the 2/5 and you take the opposite reciprocal, which is going to be -5/2. And what is the equation of this line? -5/2x minus 5. Okay. No, it's not there. You can write it in. So this is going to be y equals -5/2x minus 5. So two lines are perpendicular if the product of their slopes is -1, because when you multiply 5/2 and -2/5, the product is going to be -1. The product of two numbers is -1 if one number is the negative reciprocal or the opposite reciprocal of the other. The opposite reciprocal of 3/8 is -8/3. The opposite reciprocal of 2 is -2 is positive 1/2, and the opposite reciprocal of -1/4 is positive 4/1. Okay. So I need to find the equation of a line that contains, again, how many perpendicular lines can you have to a given line? Jimmy, what were you thinking?
I was thinking because it's opposite reciprocal, so it would have to be a specific. It would have to have a specific way.
Let's go back.
But you could still do
It can
that.
have the same slope.
See, I can have the same slope.
But it could
Yeah,
be
but it could
different.
go on to the different. It could be all along the line. It
It's
doesn't
kind
just-
of like that.
Right? I can move this line.
Yeah, so
The slope does not change, right? So, like parallel lines, I can have an infinite amount of perpendicular lines. But if we're given a certain a point through which it has to pass, then there is only one. So I have the equation of the line, which is y equals 3/4 x plus 1, and it has to pass to the point 1 comma 8. Now, what can you do even without doing any computation here?
Change the slope.
The slope. You know what the slope of the perpendicular line is going to be, right? George, what is it going to be? -4/3, because it's the opposite reciprocal. So all you need to find is the y-intercept. So can we find the y-intercept? Okay. Question. Which slope should I use now? It's going to be y equals mx plus b, right? I have the value of x, which is 1, value of y, which is 8. And what should I plug in for the value of the slope? Should it be 3/4 or -4/3? -4/3. Okay. Right? So I have 8 equals -4/3 plus b. Add 4/3 to both sides. And I get, what is 8 plus 4 and 4/3? 9 and 1/3. Very good. Or 28/3. Okay. Now, third step, make sure you write the equation of the perpendicular line. I've seen students who do all this, write the slope, or write the y-intercept, and then don't write the equation of the line. So now put everything together. You have y equals -4/3 x plus 28/3. Right? That's the slope of the perpendicular line. Yeah.
And should you, if you have 28/3 or something like that, should you convert it into a mixed number?
9 and 1/3. You could, or you could just leave it as it is. Okay? Yeah. All right, let's see what the note says. If you're given an equation in standard form, convert it into slope-intercept form before you start working on it. Right? You know that. Because you're not, slope-intercept, standard form is not going to be very helpful in terms of in helping you figure out what the slope and the y-intercept is going to be. Right. Write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to 3x plus 4y equals 9 and passing through the point -1 comma 3. What is the first thing you do, Izzy? I can't hear you.
I'm just reading it to myself.
What did the notes say in the previous page? If the equation is in standard form,
Convert to slope intercept before you start working.
exactly. Right? Convert standard form into slope-intercept form. Yes, Jimmy?
I was gonna say, well, because like if it's opposite reciprocal, wouldn't it just be flipped? So like it would be a negative. It would be -4 plus 3, because it's just flipping around. You should just flip it because it's
Oh, you're saying just look at the equation and flip it? You could. I wouldn't do it at this point, but once you get familiar with this whole process, then you can just look at an equation standard form and then flip it. Okay? So 3x plus 4y equals 9. I need y equals something. So y equals 3/4 or negative 3/4 x plus 9/4 because I'm subtracting 3x from both sides and dividing everything by 3.
No, aren't you dividing everything by 4?
No, sorry, that's what I meant.
There's a little circle.
Where is it? Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. And there should be 4 here. Yes. So I have 4y over 4 equals negative 3x over 4 plus 9 over 4. If you simplify, you get y equals negative 3/4 x plus 9 over 4. So we're done. Right? So after all this, what have we done? You just wrote the equation of the line and slope-intercept form. Yes. Now we have to find the slope of the line that is perpendicular to this. What is the slope of the line that's perpendicular to this? 4/3. Alright, so keep that in mind. You may also want to write this down as step 2. M equals 4/3. Yeah.
No, because it was negative.
It was negative 3/4, so the opposite reciprocal is going to be positive 4/3. Right? Okay. So let's find the y-intercept. Again, I'm using the new slope, which is 4/3. Plug in for x and y. X is -1, y is 3. And I have 3 equals negative 4/3 plus b. Add 4/3 to both sides. Okay. And of course, this is going to get cancelled. What is 3 plus 4/3? 4 and 1/3. Step 4. Write the equation. That'll be y equals 4/3 x plus 4 and 1/3. Then you're done. Box it, you're done. Yes. Is that exciting? Should I box it? Okay. That's it. How easy is that?